Hello there, I'm James Gilmer, your User Services Librarian, here to introduce the library's webinar on using advanced search strategies.
So our learning objectives for this session are three main ones. We have first, understanding the difference between basic and advanced search techniques. I'm going to outline what you can do when doing basic and advanced searches and the difference between the two. Second is knowing how to use different advanced search techniques for research and combining strategies for different types of searches. And then knowing where to get assistance in using advanced search strategies. So they're pretty straightforward here. So I'm going to start with going through basic and advanced search techniques and making sure you understand the difference. So basic and advanced searching, what's the difference between the two? Basic searching really is just your basic search in the sense that you conduct a keyword search with maybe one word, usually contains only one word in the search box, or one search box is only available to you. It doesn't really allow you to separate any phrases or keywords. It also has limited filters, and it typically searches a database's entire collection rather than a specific section of a collection. And so it's very good for casting a wide net and beginning a search. Now, when you conduct advanced searches, these are going to be a lot better when you get deeper into your research and you have a more specific topic you want to find sources on. And this is because it has multiple search boxes and fields. It can separate different phrases or keywords, so it allows you to search for more than one word at a time. It also has more filters, and you can usually search a specific collection or section of a database. So this is going to allow you to find a lot more specific sources, and it'll make your search easier in that sense if you need to find something very specific. You may have noticed when you do searches in Dragon Quest, there is a basic search option on the library homepage, and there is also an advanced search option with a little icon on the library homepage. And you'll notice that they have more search boxes and more filters and stuff like that. And I'm going to demonstrate that in a little bit here, but I just wanted to mention in case you've ever noticed when you're searching Dragon Quest that those are examples of basic and advanced searches. So why is this all relevant? Really, the main reason is because it makes searching for sources more efficient. We're all about making things easier, and so doing basic and advanced searching and being able to figure out which one you need to do is going to make your research process a lot faster and more efficient. It's also relevant because it helps you find more specific materials pertaining to a topic. And so, kind of like I said, if you know the topic you're searching for and you know what you need to find, the advanced searching techniques that I'm going to show you here are going to help you a lot when you're looking for a specific topic. So I'm going to start with some advanced search techniques. You may have heard of these before, but depending on your research needs, you may use any combination of the following search strategies, and I'm going to walk you through each one after I kind of go through each of them here. But first we have keywords, phrases, and synonyms. Keywords are things that are related to your topic. Phrases are usually a combination of a couple of words that make some kind of idea or thought. And synonyms are words that are basically meaning the same thing as the word that you're wanting to search for. You can search for any of these types of words by using quotation marks, and I'm going to show some examples in a little bit. Next, we have Boolean operators, which are and, or, and not. Those are on the advanced search function in Dragon Quest, and so you'll get to see those as well. Next, we have wildcards and truncation, which consist of asterisks, swung dashes, and question marks, and they all fulfill a different role, and I'm going to outline that as well. So the first thing is keywords, phrases, and synonyms, and these are going to be the most commonly used ones you're probably going to use. And so using different keywords, phrases, and synonyms related to your topic are going to yield different search results. A keyword, if you've never heard of the term, a keyword is the main idea of your research topic or your research question, and it's a word or concept that is significant to your topic. I have an example research question here. How does marketing impact the profits of a business? I highlighted kind of the main ideas of that research question, and those would be considered keywords. So you'll see I highlighted marketing, profits, and business, because those are kind of the main things that the research question is talking about. It's talking about how marketing affects profits and business. So usually when you have a research question, it's pretty easy to identify keywords because they're usually the main ideas of your question. Phrases are a little bit different in that they are a group of words that form a meaningful clause related to your topic. So it can be a combination of keywords actually, in the sense of combining words from your research question together. But some examples that I have that can relate to the above research question that I'm using as an example, we have marketing strategy, business model, and profit margin. You will see that each of those phrases has one of the words in it, but it has a word after it, kind of creating a different type of term. So this would be an example of a phrase. Phrases can have more than 2 words. It can have 3 or 4, maybe even 5 or 6, depending on what it is. But usually 2 or more is what a phrase consists of. Lastly, we have synonyms, which are a word or phrase that mean exactly the same thing as another word. So basically, if you remember, maybe in elementary school, you learned synonyms and antonyms and homonyms. That might ring a bell. But basically, synonyms are words that mean the same thing as another. So for synonyms for the word marketing, we have things like selling, commerce, retail, and exchange, because they all kind of represent the same thing. For profit, we have money, acquisition, benefit, net gain, and surplus. Those kind of all mean the same thing as profit. And then for business, we have work, occupation, profession, career, and merchandising. And these all relate to the word business, or they mean business. So that's what synonyms are. You can use any combination of these when you're doing a search. You can use them in a basic or an advanced search, but if you want to use more than one, an advanced search is what you're going to want to do because it gives you those extra fields to put the extra words in. So next we have quotation marks, and you can use these on a group of words so that a database searches only for that phrase and not the words separately. So it's a good way to keep your words together in a search. So in these scenarios, the order of the words is going to matter. So you're going to want to make sure you have your phrase correctly in order in terms of the words. So we have our sample research question: how does marketing impact the profits of a business? Some quotation marks that we can use on some of the phrases in that question are under profits of a business and impacts of marketing. So if you take those terms and do a search with the quotation marks, what it's going to do is it's going to display your search results with results that have that phrase in it. It's not going to break up the words into chunks and bring up pieces of information related to those words. It's going to search for that entire phrase without breaking the words apart. And so the same thing is going to go with impacts of marketing. So really what a quotation mark does is that it sticks the words together. It's not going to break them up in a search. And so that's going to help you find maybe something related to a phrase that you're looking for. And so when you're creating your phrases or using quotation marks, you can use phrases directly from your question, or you can create your own phrases that may relate to your research question. So you can kind of have some free reign with that, which is nice because then you can kind of tweak your search terms with the quotation marks as you see fit. I'm going to go ahead and do a search just to demonstrate the quotation marks. I'm going to go to an advanced search in Dragon Quest and just type it in. I will go ahead and do impacts of business, and I'm going to keep the quotation marks in here. I'm not going to apply any other filters for now. I'm just going to just show the quotation marks. And so what you're going to see is where the search terms come up, you'll see it has impacts on business, impacts of business, impacts its business. So that it did take a little bit of liberty in terms of changing that middle word, but it does not keys out of order. You'll see that the word impact always comes before business, and you'll see that phrase repeatedly throughout your search results. So moving on to the second one, we have Boolean operators, and Boolean operators include or exclude words from a search. So I'm going to demonstrate how those work as well. So there's 3 Boolean operators you can use. They're available on the advanced search function in Dragon Quest and in most databases, and they all do something different. The word and is going to connect all of your search terms together, and it tells the database that you want all of the words that you're typing in the search results. So it's going to make your search a lot smaller. So a good example, a very simple one, would be peanut butter using the word and then having jelly. So what that's going to bring up is a bunch of search results containing both peanut butter and jelly. If you change this to or, it's going to tell the database to find any of the search terms in the results, and some words may appear together in a result or separately, and so this is casting a much wider net and will retrieve more results. With the same example here with peanut butter and jelly, if we put or in between, it'll find results with either peanut butter or jelly in the search result, so it may not have them together. It may just be one or the other. Lastly, there's not, which excludes a word or phrase from a search and is helpful for eliminating irrelevant results. So let's say you're doing a search on music and you keep getting results on classical music, but that's not what you want. Let's say maybe you're doing a research on rock music instead. What you'd want to do is you can put music or rock music into your first search box. In the second search box, you can put classical, and then just change the Boolean operator to not, and then it will eliminate anything that is not considered classical or has the word classical in it. So it's very good for helping you eliminate searches. So I'll show you briefly how that works. I'm going to take this out. I'm going to put in music. Actually, I'll put in rock music. And then I'm going to put classical. And then the Boolean operators are located here. You want to use the first one, select not, and then hit search. And then you'll see there are results pertaining to rock music, and you'll kind of notice that there's nothing really about classical music in your results. So you'll kind of see how that works. And then I'll go ahead and demonstrate the peanut butter and jelly option, or not option, example. I'm going to change this to and. And you'll see just in the first couple of results, there's both peanut butter and jelly. I'm going to go ahead and change this to or. And you'll see, so now there are some results that have both peanut butter and jelly. Remember, it casts a wider net. And then there's going to be some that probably have only one or the other. Let's see if we can find one. So this one has only the word peanut butter in it, not jelly. So you'll kind of see this or Boolean operator brings up both. So you'll have both peanut butter and jelly in a search result, but then also just peanut butter, or in some cases, just jelly. So those are how Boolean operators tend to function. Like I said, most databases have these, so it's a really good idea to make sure you understand how these work, because they're going to help you regardless of what other database you're using. So the third one we have is wildcards and truncations. Wildcards are characters on your keyboard that take the place of a letter or letters in a search term, and some wildcards will truncate or cut off endings of a search term so that the search results are more open-ended. And so what this does is it retrieves more results. The point of these is to help you find missing words, endings of words, and different spellings. So there's 3 types of wildcards. First is an asterisk, and you can add this to like a compound word or a word maybe you don't know the ending to. And I have an example here. Let's say we put in the word note and you put an asterisk after it. It will bring up results that have words such as notebook, note cards, or notes, because what that asterisk is doing is that it is taking the place of anything that could come after that word. And it's basically completing the word for you. Swung dashes kind of do the same thing. I have an example here with the word donut. This will help you locate different spellings. Donut is something that can be spelled differently depending on where you're from or how you spell it personally. So we have donut, which is spelled D-O-N-U-T, and then you have a swung dash after it. And so what it's going to do is help you find results with that as well as different spellings that may exist, with one example being donut spelled D-O-U-G-H-N-U-T. The question mark is going to help you with missing words or spellings in some cases. One example that I have here is the word color. And this is going to search for words spelled with color, C-O-L-O-R, and then also a slightly different spelling, C-O-L-O-U-R. And so what this question mark did is you're basically asking the database what letter fits in that spot. And so what the database does with that question mark is it retrieves all of the possible endings or letters that may fit in that spot. And so all of these wildcards in truncation, the reason they're called wildcards is because they can retrieve a lot of different things and they can represent a lot of different things. So to kind of walk you through it again, an asterisk can help with missing words or endings of words. Swung dashes help with different spellings, and question marks help you locate a missing letter. So I kind of add an extra section here on truncation. So when you're using wildcards, such as the ones that I just showed you, to truncate search terms, you just want to be careful not to over or under truncate the words, meaning you're not going to cut off too many letters or not enough. So over truncation is when a database locates words that are not even relevant to your topic. This is when you may cut off too many letters. So one example we have of over truncation is having the phrase LIB with an asterisk next to it. And let's say you're searching for things related to a library. Having LIB with an asterisk is not really going to help you. You're almost over truncating because it can find words like these below, pretty much anything that ends in or that begins with LIB. So it could find things related to liberty, liberal, Liberia, and Libya, and I'm sure there's others as well. But these words are not relevant to the word library most of the time. So you may need to add a couple more letters to your search term and then add that asterisk. There's also under truncation where you're not cutting off enough letters. And when this happens, a database can't find any possible endings to your search term. One example is putting the word library, the full word, and then putting an asterisk after it. You're not going to get any results for that. Kind of somewhere in the middle, a proper truncation of the word library would be LIBR with an asterisk. And so it'll bring up results like library, libraries, or Libra, which is something that can be related to libraries. So this is something that you do want to be mindful of when you are doing truncation or using wildcards, because it can get you stuck or make you think you're at a dead end, when in reality you're not, and you just need to modify your truncation. So now that I've showed you some advanced search techniques, I'm going to use a couple of them in Dragon Quest and show you how they work. So Dragon Quest and our EBSCO databases, which have the same functions as Dragon Quest, allow you to combine these different techniques to conduct searches. And so what you can do is click on the advanced search icon on the Dragon Quest search bar, and then type in your topic search terms using the boxes and drop-down menus, and then you want to use the advanced search strategies that I covered today. And you can combine different strategies. You don't have to use just one. You can combine them. And I recommend you use the Boolean terms in the drop-downs because those are really going to help. And then once you figure that out, you can use the search options mode or modes below the search bar to search for specific titles and authors. And then you just want to use the Refine Results tab to refine your search. Basically, those are the filters you get on your search results page that are on the left side. So I'll kind of do I did show you how the Boolean terms work already. So I'm going to go ahead and reset here. So I'm going to do the LIBR asterisk, and I'm going to go ahead and change this to 4. I'm going to do the color wildcard too. And like I said, you can change these as well, and you can also change these to categorize your search terms. I'm not going to for the sake of this exercise here. I'm going to see if we even get anything. So you can kind of see with the question mark, it did identify the word color. So that's one way to do something with the question mark. And it did figure out that library is a possibility for this one. So we also have libraries, librarians, and library. That seems to be the top contender in terms of what it filled in. I'm going to try a different word. So I changed this to WA question mark ER, and it found the word water. And it looks like this result actually, with the LIBR asterisk, it found Libros, which looks like that's a Spanish word. So you may get stuff from other languages when you're doing stuff like this, and that can also happen. So then once you use some of these, you can use the filters to refine them, and you can modify these as you see fit. You can also add a third search term if you want, and use the Boolean terms to distinguish a relationship as well. So to kind of wrap things up, you're able to get additional help with using these strategies a couple different ways. First, we have an advanced search strategies tutorial as well as a Dragon Quest tutorial. We also have a lot of database tutorials that have a section on how to do advanced searches. So you can always check those out and get help that way, because there's always screenshots and videos that are going to help you learn how to do an advanced search. To get to any of these, you can just go to our website, which is library.tiffin.edu. Scroll down to our research guides, click on that, and you're going to want to go to Using Pfeiffer Library umbrella and click on Advanced Search Strategies. And it gives you an outline of some of the things that I covered in this session today. It also has a section on conducting advanced searches in Dragon Quest. There's even a video, but it outlines a lot of what I covered with the wildcards, truncations, keywords, Boolean operators, that kind of thing. And it tells you kind of how to use them. And then the database tutorials, you can get access to those by going to Help and go to Tutorial. And I'm just going to go to the Dragon Quest tutorial just to show you. There is an advanced searching tab on this one, and so it'll outline how to do an advanced search. Most of our database tutorials do have advanced searching tabs, so you can kind of learn how to do them. And if not, you can always try to figure it out yourself. The database sometimes will have their own tutorial that can help with advanced searching. This one has one as well. So you can always do that too. But if you're ever kind of lost and you're kind of struggling, you can always reach out to the library. We offer research consultations one-on-one, either virtual and in person, so you can always schedule one with one of us, and we're happy to help. We can usually demonstrate a couple things that will help if someone feels lost. Or if you don't really want to meet with one of us, if that's something you're not comfortable with, you can always send us an email with the help that you need, and we will usually get back to you within a day or two.
Hello again. James Gilmer, User Services Librarian, Here at the end of the webinar, just to give you some resources for additional help should you have questions as you work on your research and other assignments. You can always email the library directly at library@tiffin.edu, and Luann or I will typically get back to you that day during the 9 to 5 Monday through Friday workday, or on our next business day for questions that fall outside of those hours. You can also contact me directly if you prefer at gilmerjm@tiffin.edu. I monitor both of those inboxes and get to questions as quickly as I can. For more generalized help, check out our other webinars, research guides, and tutorials that are linked in the description below and on the library's homepage, library.tiffin.edu. Thanks again for watching, and good luck with your research.